Hi, I'm Arthur Harkins, the University of Minnesota, where I'm an associate professor of educational policy and administration, and also faculty director of the Leapfrog Institutes, a brand new program, very exciting one, and also faculty director of our graduate certificate in innovation studies. My topic in this brief little presentation is New Futures for Human Capital Development through Leapfrog. What is Leapfrog? It's a way of shorthanding an approach to change, an approach to dealing with legacy systems and tradition that basically requires us to jump out of the normal relationship to these things into new relationships that are more productive, that work better. So how can we apply Leapfrog principles to human capital development? Well, first of all, you have to have really great technologies, and we are not using those great technologies very well around the world today in the development of human capital, in education at least. By that I mean universities as well. So these kinds of technologies, properly applied, can actually lead to putting all the basics that we understand in a package in your hand and connecting that package by wireless to databases and information bases all over the place. Then the issue becomes, how do you use all that information? That's a critical one, and that's where the Leapfrog principle starts to really apply. You create new missions, new visions, and new practices for the preparation of human capital. You start talking in strange languages such as imagination, creativity, invention, innovation. This is the type of language that you see out in the private sector. You hear it out in the private sector all the time. And we're trying to bring that kind of language into human capital preparation on campuses and in schools. We also pay more and more attention these days to individual or personal capital and individual or personal culture. Individual culture is kind of the expression on a personal level of what collective cultures are on a much larger level, like Mexico, Canada, or the United States. So how do we generate personal cultures that can innovate continuously, that can be, in effect, leading exemplary models of human capital application in a world competitive context? So how do we design new systems to make that happen? Well, first, I think you have to say, what is the kind of context range that human capital can be developed in? I've come up with about 7 of these. They're types of societies. They're all here on the planet right now. Some have been around for maybe 300,000 years, or one has at least, and the other is much, much shorter periods of time. So the one that's been around for several 100,000 years, I call society 0.0, subsistence society. That means people are just trying to get breakfast. They're trying to eat. And those societies generally are very small. They're very, very threatened by change. There's not a whole lot of human capital development that can go on there beyond subsistence, survival. The second level of society is also here with us today. It was started about 12,000 years ago. Society 1.0 is agricultural society. That was the point 12,000 years ago when we started farming in one place, and we could actually start creating a division of labor that led to the incredible divisions of labor we have today. Then Society 2.0, industrial society, where we began to learn how to manufacture parts that all looked alike, that fit together well, and enabled us to build on building. So we had a kind of a leapfrog approach over a period of 150 to 250 years that gave us the capacity to build skyscrapers, airplanes, and to create school systems that processed people as if they were packages. And so that was good for its time. Society 3.0 is information society. It started right after World War II. It's the white-collar society. With all the information it takes to run an industrial society, what do you do with it? Well, we had to figure that out, and we created a division of labor for that purpose. Many societies today, many nations are training, educating their people as if they were going to work in an information society. So that would be training them or educating them for about 30 years ago. How about a knowledge society, Society 4.0? That's the society we started developing about 1980, 1985. The aim of that society is to utilize information in exemplary ways, creative ways, innovational ways, so that money could be made out of the knowledge that was derived from information, or that stuff that white-collar workers work with. And then finally, Society 6.0, innovation is 5.0. Society 6.0 is all about design and entrepreneurship. So you look now at this and ask yourself, how can a society that's got good school systems, good universities, excellent digital capabilities, so on and so on, how can it orchestrate all those resources to create money and other forms of capital to make things work well and to have a reasonable sense that the future is even going to be better than the present? So the bottom line, I guess, of all this is it's driven so heavily by technology. And by technology, I'm referring primarily to communications technologies, computing technologies, and the networks that are enabled by the existence of these things. So Leapfrog is what we're all about at the University of Minnesota, and Leapfrog essentially is an attempt to create an awareness of the potential of people all over the globe to rethink the way human capital is prepared and the way it's applied. So thank you very much. I'll look forward to meeting some of you in person.